Hello folks, I'm Ben. This is a shots fired airsoft video, and this is the Cyma CM.028U, and this is a fully tactical AK-47 RF. So without further ado, let's have a look at what's on the box, what's in the box, and what the gun looks like. Okay, so I'm going to do what I can with the box. Obviously this is quite a large box, as you can see there. We have a little bit of information specifications down there, rated at 102 meters a second, that's about 340-ish FPS, which is great. 40 to 50 meter range, 556mm BBs, high cap mag, and it is 928 mils, nearly a meter long with the stock folded out. 3100 grams including battery. We'll test that, we'll give it away. You get a nice picture of the gun, the usual Cyma bump about it having an adjustable hop up, even though pretty much all of them do. Oh, I'm dropping it. And we do have some images along the side, and these are actually your instructions. So there's probably going to be no manual inside this, as is common with the Cyma guns, but the instructions are actually along the side of the box. So let's just have a look in. Now this actually came opened. I'm not entirely sure why it was already open. It's not like they have to downgrade it for UK markets, because this is the 340-ish FPS version. However, I'm not going to question it too much, nothing's missing, so let's have a look. Usual cheap Cyma packaging. Oh, I hate this stuff, but it does hold the gun in place and do its job nicely. We're just going to start taking things out. So you've got your fairly standard 2-pin charger that we don't use because they're not particularly fantastic, and even with a just like shaving adapter, it's not the safest thing to use in the house. So I'd recommend buying a sort of cheap but decent battery charger for your LiPo stuff, something that's going to detect peak and stop charging rather than just keep trying to pump power into a battery. You've got a sling. We never really recommend using these because these clasps here, I mean you can sort of see, I can kind of bend that with my fingers, holding up a 3.5 kilo airsoft rifle dangling from your shoulders, bouncing around. That will probably just snap and it will end up on the deck. You get some tools. Not entirely sure what they're for, but I'll have a look later or bring it up in the review. I believe it's probably something to do with maybe the hop up, and maybe something else, I don't know, I'll have to figure it out later. You have your uber long stick battery, which obviously goes under your dust cover, so that's why it's that shape. It's an 8.4 volt 1100 milliamp hour cell like you get with most of the Cyma products. We have a waffle style magazine. Obviously it's plastic, fills from the top, winds from the bottom. It does actually have BBs in it, so I believe it was open. It may have been tested. So whether they've had an issue with them or something and they test the stock, I don't know, but yeah, a sling point on there, or attachment point. All in all, it's a nice magazine, I say, and this is 550 rounds capacity, so it's enough to keep you going pretty much all the way through. A game or two would see you through, definitely, even in your longer games. Not like they aren't easy to refill though. And that leaves us with the gun. And once I've got this out of the box, I will actually be able to move the box out of the way. So I'm kind of hurrying towards that. Oh, it is heavy. That is nice. So what are we on at the moment? We're on safe. Okay, so we have no trigger pull. Oh, cleaning and jamming rod hiding in the bottom there, as per usual. It's always nice to get one though. Right, with that out of the way, we can have a look at the gun. We'll start at the front. So we've got a little kind of tip. I wouldn't describe it as a flash hider or anything, it's just like a stub. This yeah, it's definitely removable, and I believe has a 14mm thread underneath it. In fact, if we push that pin in, we are able to unscrew it, which I'm not going to do just now, because I'm just going through the general specifics. We have a fixed front sight. All of this, from here forward, is full metal. We then come, obviously this is fake, don't try and pull this out. This is where the sort of like the cleaning rod was on the real gun. This is a faux one, so don't go pulling or jiggering it about, you'll probably just break something. Usual polystyrene in the way. This is the tactical handguard that you get, so you have RAS rails on the top, the sides, on both sides, and on the bottom. At the moment we have our classy little foregrip, which folds. But you can see the bottom rail is about that long underneath it. Obviously you can move this around. Flashlights, whatever you want, launchers, scopes on the top. Oh no, it's pretty groovy. Moving a bit further back, we have the sort of standard AK style sights, which adjust as you normally would, forwards, back, and for elevation. We have a metal dust cover, which is released by pressing this button on the back, and it allows access to your battery compartment. There's quite a lot of metal in this. I mean, it is advertised as a polymer weapon, but the main body of the gun is polymer, but these most of the furnishings hanging off it are in fact metal. You've got a sling point on the side, which appears to be rather stiff. I should probably have to do that when I'm not on camera. Mag latch is metal, which is nice. Trigger guard's metal. Trigger itself is metal. Lovely sculpted hand grip down here. Really comfortable weapon to hold. Just continuing on, and this is the tactical folding stock. So it's pretty good in position. Very little wobble. When you want to fold it, you push it down and rotate it around, and the spring just holds it in place. So that's it folded, and it just sits there. You can still reach all your controls. The firing selector may be a bit of an issue with it there, but generally probably not going to be fiddling with that during a game if you've got the stock folded. But we'll just pop that out of the way at the moment. That's it, it just slots back into position. So if we come around to the offside of the gun, obviously you can see your mechanism for your folding stock there, how it just pops down. You've got your classic AK firing selector with the beginnings of the AK scratch, which is nice, very authentic. You have your faux charging handle, if the dodgy camera will focus, which is a bit sticky, but then I do have the dust cover off. I believe that actually holds it in alignment a bit. And then really from here, it's pretty much the same as it was on the other side. But it's a really nice, really heavy weapon. It feels very well built. There's very little wobble or flex in anything. Even though it is quite long, the stock's comfortable, long, and there's no real wobble in it. It's looking like a corking weapon. So we're just going to complete the look of the weapon. It's very important on the AK to have a mag in. Pops in nice and easy. And there we are. Quite an imposing looking weapon. Mag goes in great, nice and easy. Releases nice and easy. I'll just show you with the dust cover back on. That faux charging handle, a lot smoother. I will put a bit of lube in it though, because it is a bit squeaky and annoying. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put the battery in it, and then we'll get the scales out and see how much it weighs. Okay, so this is mag in, battery in, everything complete. Obviously I've folded the stock so it doesn't drag on the table, and we've got 3,148 grams, so about 3.2 kilograms by the time you've got the mag for the BBs. Obviously this is without any other tactical additions, so by the time you've put yourself a little red dot sight on, or whatever you want to use for optics, and maybe a couple of other accessories, you might be looking sort of 3.5 kilos. All in all, it feels great in the hand, and this weight it's kind of a nice weight. It's not the 4.5–5 kilos of a sniper rifle, but it isn't your sort of feeling a bit cheap under 2 kilos of, like, say, that Cyma 513 that we did, that we reviewed a little while ago. There's nothing wrong with the weapon, but it did feel a bit like a toy because it was 1800 grams, which is brilliant when you're running around the field all day. However, for the actual sort of the gun nut in you, it's nice to have a heavier weight weapon. Okay, so to show you how you access the battery tray, so there's a button on the back there. You push that in, it allows the dust cover to come up, and underneath there is your battery. Now, it's a bit of a squish at the front getting it in, but what I found to do is you connect the connectors, push them back into the gun, and then I actually twist the battery around once, which kind of corkscrews the wiring without overstressing it too much, and then it will sit down nicely at the back, and you have enough to slot that under there, and that kind of just, I say just, you do have to give it a bit of helmet. Oh, sorry. There you go, it pops back on. You know it's on properly because that will stick back out over the top. So with the battery in, you take the mag out. The gun is unloaded. Although there are BBs in there, they're only rattling around in the bottom of the mag. There's no actual BBs up further in. So I believe the bottom on an AK is single fire. Yeah. So it's a nice responsive trigger, bearing in mind we're only on the stock nickel hydride cell. Lovely, and then if we come back up to fully automatic, we should get a fairly reasonable and indeed we do. That sounds like a fairly reasonable firing rate for a stock MOSFET-less gun. All in all, I'm quite impressed with this, and I'm very much looking forward to getting it out and having a shoot with it. It is a Cyma weapon, so I'm expecting decent performance out of the box. It'll also give me more time to go over the gun and get more information like what those keys are for and all that sort of stuff. So stay tuned for the review on this, it will be far more in depth. This was just like an initial look over at the gun, how it's built, and making sure everything works, etc. So thank you very much for watching. I've been Ben, a Shots Fired Airsoft video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Thank you very much.